Round 11 is complete in the Championship. International break incoming. Here are my latest hot takes. One travelling treat will lead off with a couple of really nice away days, resulting in 4-0 wins yesterday. Now, I'm assured it's not a derby, but whatever Sunderland v Borough is, Borough won it 4-0 to round off the fabled 9-point week. It's actually 4 wins on the bounce for Michael Carrick, and his side are flying up the table following that horrible start. Sunderland will reasonably argue that there was nothing in it up until the red card for Dan Neil. Who knows exactly what he said to get that second yellow, but I'm fairly sure he's regretting whatever it was today. The Blackburn fans had to travel much further for their 4-0 road trip as they thrashed QPR at Loftus Road. We know Rovers are open and they do make a hell of a lot of chances. Smodic now moves joint top of the scorers chart with his 7th of the season, and there was 2 for Arnor Sigurdsson. QPR, no wins in 6. Gareth Ainsworth hanging in there in the face of plenty of booing by the sounds of the highlights. 2, mind the gap. I've never quite seen a table like it. With just under a quarter of a season gone, there is an 8-point gap between second place Ipswich and third place Preston. I was at Portman Road to see the two sides face off yesterday, and Ipswich powered in 4-2 winners. That is 9 wins in 11 for Ipswich as the dream post-promotion start just continues. Man United loanee Brandon Williams was outstanding. He scored a first half worldie, but Preston did have Ipswich rattled at 3-2 behind in the second half. Of course, Mr. Midas McKenna's triple substitution all combined for the 4th goal to make it safe. Up ahead in the distance, nobody can get near Leicester, who have now won 10 of their first 11 games and have now done back-to-back 9-point weeks on their way to 6 wins in a row. Leicester beat Stoke 2-0, and it doesn't feel much of a stretch the way things are going to forecast a 100-point season for the Foxes. As the landscape gets clearer, we can see a couple of trickier opponents coming up for Leicester, but any kind of sustained poor run doesn't really seem on the cards looking at the evidence so far. This is probably the right time, I think, to mention Leeds, as even though they're a couple of spots off third currently, I wonder if most people would think they're the most likely to gun down the top 2. It was a 2-1 win at Elland Road over Bristol City at the weekend. Leeds are over 2 points per game across the last 8, but of course the top 2 are setting an absurd pace, and that poor first 3 games for Leeds means that they are still 9 points back. Leeds created plenty against Bristol City. Piru scored again, and I don't foresee much of a deviation in trajectory happening at any point. Could be an interesting chase through the winter. 3, take a point. Probably the less said the better about Sheffield Wednesday 0, Huddersfield 0. Let me know if you were there. Just 1 shot on target in the entire game for Darren Moore's big return to Hillsborough. Both sides, I suppose, are going to be happy with a clean sheet and no L in the column, but it's 5 without a win for Huddersfield, and Darren Moore still needs to get off the mark with his first win. For Wednesday, it's a case of get the new boss in and start the season all over again. They've got 35 games remaining to chase down a 7-point gap to safety. Less sure whether Millwall or Hull would have been in take-a-point mode yesterday. The Lions were at home, of course, but Hull higher in the table, and both teams did lead the game at various points during the afternoon. Couple of nicely taken goals from Philogene for Hull and Bryan for Millwall in this game, which ended 2-2 between the two clubs in the wash of teams between 7th and 15th. Millwall took 4 points across the 3-game week, but Hull, I would say, are in too many draws mode and have 1 win in 6 as a result of that. 4, baby, come back. A couple of nice comeback wins to talk about for Birmingham and Swansea this round. They both went behind and both ended up winning 3-1. West Brom actually led within 5 minutes at St Andrews against Birmingham on Friday night, but Blues fought back against the informed Baggies with a Gary Gardner free kick, sealing things with 3 minutes remaining. Now, despite their bad September, it's back-to-back home wins for Birmingham, meaning they are still up there in the top 6, ready for the next block of matches. Swansea pulled off the same trick over at Plymouth. They are on one hell of a streak. 4 wins on the bounce. To take about Swansea, they join Leicester and Borough in 9-point week land. Yates, Cooper and Key got the goals in the second half, and maybe Swans fans won't want to take the international break right now. We saw Mike Duff's Barnsley side. Well, when they get on a roll, watch out. Bit concerning for Plymouth, who haven't won away yet this season, and that bonkers good home record has now dropped off a little bit with 2 home park defeats on the bounce across this week. It's a League One reunion for the Argyle when we're back. They face Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich back-to-back in games 2 and 3 of that first week. 5, play it safe. Now, whenever we do the predictions, I always get accused of this. It's just easiest to play a nice safe 1-1 when you're not entirely sure. Well, we had 3 such scorelines this round, and the first is very championship-y. Southampton turning the corner and looking for a 9-point week of their own at home to a Rotherham side who have lost all 5 of their away games thus far. Saints led early, couldn't get a second, but fair play. Jordan Hugill, what a strike to pinch a point for our first 1-1. Norwich and Coventry probably both have genuine playoff ambitions this season. The brilliant Johnny Rowe got his 6th of the campaign for the Canaries, but with Coventry pushing, it was a Ben Gibson own goal late in the day that finally equalled things out, 1-1. Finally, Watford avoided the indignity of a 0 points and 3 defeats across this week with their 1-1 at Cardiff. They did need a bit of an assist from Cardiff keeper Jay Anik, who inadvertently laid on the equaliser for Vacuum Bayo. There you have it. There is my latest hot takes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Better still, reply with your own hot takes. We're keeping up with the schedule so far, so click here and you'll see a lovely playlist of all the hot takes videos. If you do need to fill up your international break with some content, or why not click here to see what I got to yesterday at Portman Road as Ipswich ran in 4-2 winners over Preston.